Attempt a note on Plato's mimetic theory as discussed by Abrams in his Orientation of Critical Theories. Marks 10. Answer. The first mimetic theory, which is discussed by Abrams in his essay, Orientation of Critical Theories, is that of Plato. It was Plato who first employed the term mimesis to suggest that all forms of art are imitations. According to Plato's famous theory of ideas or forms, there is a metaphysical hierarchy consisting of the ideal world of forms, the sensible world of particulars, and imitations of the sensible world. Plato argues that everything existent in the world is actually an imperfect copy of the ideal object that exists beyond this world of perception. It is an essence made by God, existing as the idea or form in the mind of God. According to critic Murray, poets and artists merely reproduce insubstantial reflections of objects in the sensible world, which are themselves less real than the forms, which alone have true existence. Abrams cites an example originally given by Plato in Republic to discuss the nature of art by using the analogy of a bed. Plato suggests that there are beds as follow. 1. The idea or form, which is the essence of the bed made by God. 2. The bed made by the carpenter. 3. The bed found in the painting. The painter only produces a superfication of the carpenter's bed, not even being aware of the practical skills that went into its making. Since poets are also imitators like the artist, they are totally ignorant of the idea that lies behind the actual bed. Hence, it follows that the poet's and the artist's representation of the bed are mere copies of the imitation of the ideal reality and are therefore twice removed from it. Their imitations are third-hand distortions of truth, valueless and potentially misleading. Abrams points out that Aristotle is not concerned with the metaphysics of mimesis. He observes in a factual way that men by nature are imitative. They enjoy imitating and learn by imitation. Even the imitation of a repulsive object, like a dead body or a lower form of animal, can give pleasure to us by its verisimilitude. In other words, the content of a work is not important, its effect is derived from the manner of its imitation or representation, its form. As Plato erroneously assumes, we do not react to what we are shown but rather how we are shown it. This distinction between content and form is the basis of Aristotle's literary theory and distinguishes it from Plato's. Abrams mentions the French critic Charles Batteux, who formulated a reductive principle of arts. He favored reducing the numerous rules of arts to a single principle. From Aristotle's principle of imitation he devised general rules for poetry and painting and particular rules for special genres. Abrams next discusses the German critic G. E. Lessing in his theory as propounded in Laocoon, an essay on the limits of painting and poetry. Lessing intends to establish the theories of art by an inductive logic, which is opposed to that of Batteux. Lessing, like Batteux, contends that poetry like painting is definitely an imitation. The only difference between the two is the diversity of their mediums, which creates the differences in the object that both imitate. Thus, Professor Abrams discusses the first mimetic theory with minute observation. It has turned out that the concept of imitation has played an important part in neoclassic criticism, but not always overtly. Art was considered an imitation, only from the perspective of the effect it produced on the audience. There was a movement away, not from the work to the universe, but from the work to the audience. Finished. Please share this channel to help any student pursue a degree in English literature. Please do not forget to like, share and comment.